Be honest with me, what's your first instinct when your jungle pings Drake? You move instantly, right? Because you think it's the right call. But 80% of the times, that decision is what actually loses you the game. In this video, I will show you why and how the best AD carries in the world think completely different about Drakes, plus the exact system and structure you can use to finally understand what to do when your jungle starts this objective. So Jinx right here, when you are going for Drake, is your health and mana, your resources, okay? So when you are this low HP, if you move to the fight, only one skill shot can kill you. Like if Ahri hits one skill shot, you're dead. If Jhin hits one skill shot, you're dead. Morgana hits one skill shot, you're dead. Then you should consider to abandon the fight. Usually, if you don't have at least half HP, it is very recommended that you consider to abandon and ignore the fight that you want to get into. So the most important thing that when she moves to the Drake, the number one thing is losing her life. If she loses her life, Jhin is gonna push. So the Jinx will lose the wave because the wave will be killed by the tower. You lose the plate because Jhin can get a plate. Or if Jhin doesn't get the plate, Jhin can push this wave, get level 6 with this wave, and then he can anyways move after he pushes the wave. If you move, and let's say you don't die, Jhin can anyways follow, and Jhin can anyways ulti in that fight. So that's bad. And realistically speaking, the most important thing as an AD carry is gold and experience and consistency. And of course, this is what happens. Jhin is level 6 and a half, and Jinx is already one level down. She's losing, she's giving waves on the table. So this is very bad for Jinx. Very, 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 very bad for Jinx. Resources decide if you can fight, but most AD carries ignore the next filter, which is number and arrival advantage. Watch what happens when you're second to river. So what should Jhin do right now? Well, obviously, if we move the minimap right now, like move the camera, it is 1, 2, 3 people against 1. So it's 1 versus 3. There is a fight here and there is Drake, but it is a big number advantage. So this is another variable that you need to think about when you're thinking, when you're considering, when you're debating if you should follow, a fight or not. So here, your jungle is in base, your jungle has camp stop, your support is in base, your top, everyone is in base. So what should Jhin do? He should be boring. Take the farm under the tower, don't do anything crazy. No, we don't care about the Drake. You're not gonna get the Drake, you're not gonna get anything. Why are you going towards the Drake? Why are you trying to kill people? Why are you trying to fight when you're 2v4? Why are you trying to contest the Drake? You're always just gonna die there. It's no reason to do that. So how do you know that it's a bad fight and you shouldn't go for Drake? It's number advantage. Even when it's safe to follow, ask, is Drake the highest expected value? If plates, waves, or a dive print more gold right now, you take those. Let's pay attention to this game. So Seraphim recalled, or well, Seraphim is in Fog of War. This is a Varus versus Kaisa. We are pretty ahead, as we can see, 3-2 against 1-5. We have good poke, we have Lux with one item. We can pressure. So now the guy is starting the Drake. So the first mistake is already like, we're not pushing the wave, because if you push the wave, Kaisa is unable to move. Right now, if you don't, Kaisa can just move instantly and she can ulti to the Drake, or she can push the wave into your tower and then she can move while you lose the minions under the tower. That's bad. So right now, what can Varus do? Well, first of all, he's debating on what he should do, but it's very simple that he should first push the wave. And after he pushes the wave, we have vision on the mid lane. We see here, this is great. 2, if we check specifically this point of the minimap, we see that the middle of the line of the mid lane, this is the middle of the map, Morgana is past it, which we can say that she has priority, she has push, she has control, stuff like that. We can say it, right? Okay, we can also look on mid lane, she hits the binding, it's even better, she has ultimate, she's 2 levels up, she's crazy strong, this guy is 1-8. We can add those variables, but the concept is she's controlling mid lane, Akali can't move. So we can say reliably that most cases the Warwick won't just go to the Drake by himself, because if he would, then you can just follow, but if it doesn't, then you can always just take the wave, take plates, kill Kai'Sa under the tower, ult her, because you have ult and you are strong. So I'm not saying you shouldn't go for Drake, because if Warwick is fighting right now the Briar, then definitely you can skip this wave and you can move right away and then ulti him and kill him. But I'm saying that if there are better things that you can do, and Drake is uncontested, and you're thinking about priorities, you're thinking about how strong champions are in the game, this guy is 6-1 anyways, he's gonna win against Warwick, and you're thinking about, hey, Drake is secured. They don't need my damage there. They don't need anything from me there. So I can just stay and pressure the Kai'Sa. So here, this is pretty simple, that he can just get a kill on the Kai'Sa, and then he can get a tower, his first blood tower, and it's gonna be just over. Okay? It's just gonna be over game. Now he decides to stay here. The problem is that he's gonna lose some farm onto the Drake. And yeah, why would you do that? Why would you give Kai'Sa the opportunity to push the wave and now she can recall safely? Why? If you struggle with this kind of decisions, when is the right time to follow your team and when to focus on yourself, this is exactly what I teach in my one-on-one coaching. We review your games together and focus on what you personally need to fix. The real things that are holding you back. Fast, specific, and tailored around your goals, because every player is unique and your mistakes aren't the same as everyone else's. If you're serious about improving your AD carry macro and fixing these mistakes, go to bizarre.com and book a coaching session now. Okay, pause. I'm not saying you should never help with Drakes. You should do it when the math and tempo make sense. So below Grandmaster, use these 4 checks in this exact order. 1. Resources, your HP, mana, ult, summon a spell. If you're below 50%, you should highly consider to ignore the fight unless all the other enemies have similar HPs with your. 2. Number advantage and arrival timers. Who has more people there? Who gets there first? If they have 4 in the river in like 5 seconds and your support and jungle are 20 seconds away, that is a massive number advantage and timing gap. Don't go. 3. Distance and urgency. If the fight is more than 1 screen away, you should usually avoid joining. In that case, you usually prioritize your wave first before going to the fight. An urgency check. If Udyr is just pinging Drake, that is no urgency. If he started Drake and he's already fighting the enemy jungle, that is urgent. 4. Jungle position and jungle reliance. Is your jungle close around, healthy? If it's topside, don't flip it, don't contest. Also, champ reliance. Sejuani level 4 with no items doing Drake. Even if you think she can do it by herself, it's way too slow, so go and help her, she needs your DPS. A Kindred though, at level 10 with Kraken Slayer and Phantom Dancer, she doesn't need you. For players that are above Grandmaster, they highly need to consider a few of other things like priority on mid lane, who has control there, tempo of bot lane and power spikes, where is the enemy indicator and how ahead is he, off tempo means don't contest. 3 is vision and setup, they need to make sure they have an entry vision or approach angle based on their words and control words. Drake type and win condition, for example the Mountain Drake is 5% armor and magic resist. If it's the second Mountain Drake and the enemy have 3 tanks, this is crazy good Drake for them. So they, pro players are more inclined to contest that. TP advantage, flanks, wait a second. You don't really need to think about these things. You are below master tier. Just remember the first 4. And now let's get to the real examples how to decide properly in low elo. Alright, this is the example of the Kai'Sa. And it's a great example. It's such a good example. So we see a Kai'Sa on the bot lane and she's farming, she's chilling. She's going to trade a little bit and all of a sudden she gets ganked. So she almost killed the Rel, and now she's pushing because they are low, she's pushing. Now she gets the plate, which is the normal play. They are low HP right there, we can get the plate, we have a big wave, nothing crazy so far. We are taking the plate, so this is the good decision. Thing is, Nunu is hardcore pinging Drake. So now we can take the plate or we can go for the Drake. Or we can take the plate first and then go for the Drake. Or we can take 2 plates. How do we decide? Well, it's very simple. Is there an urgency? Did Nunu already start the Drake? No. He's going to start the Drake in like 5 seconds. Okay, so we don't need to move now. We can easily finish this plate. Perfect. We are going to finish this plate, so this is the correct decision. The problem is now Nunu started it. Almost like, okay, now Nunu's just started it. So the chances that enemy will be here, it's still there. Where is Lee Sin? I don't know. Where is the enemy mid lane? Singed? I don't know. They can be anywhere. They can be here. So what Kai'Sa could do is option number 1, take another plate because she has a big wave. Option number 2, go for the Drake. And the Drake is the better one because the chances of Lee Sin being here is pretty high. The chances of Singed being here is pretty high. We don't know where he is. So we see Kai'Sa is immediately following, okay? Which is really, really, really good. Pause for a second right now. There is a very important information that is happening on the map that changes everything. So when I ask you what does Kai'Sa do or what should she do, you should tell me, hey, Lee Sin is top lane. He just showed top lane. There is no reason for Kai'Sa to be on Drake because Nunu has enough damage to finish the Drake. So we're thinking about 1, enemy jungle position. We're thinking about 2, does our jungle, can Nunu finish the Drake by himself or does he need my help? Nunu has good damage for the Drake and Nunu has good tankiness for the Drake. So there is no need for you. Is there an alternative? Oh, sorry, there is no need for you to be there. And you have to ask yourself, is there an alternative to this play of going for Drake? And the answer is yes. You can go for a plate or even better, you can go for dive on Corki. So she goes for the Drake, which is first the good decision, but then she immediately turns to Corki because she saw the Lee Sin on top lane. Obviously, this is a challenger player and this is actually G2 Hansama, so really hard to play. So Kai'Sa is now, hey, I'm going to dive this guy. There is no need for me to stay on to the Drake. There is no need for me to do anything else. The problem is there is another variable that comes into place, which is Singed. Okay, if Singed is here, there is no universe where Kai'Sa can dive the Corki, right? Why? Well, just simply because you're gonna die if you try to dive Corki and Singed is there. So what is the good play right now? The good play is doing Drake. So here we can see exactly how one thing that happens on the map can change everything and how you should adapt your decision making. We see how important it is to think about the alternative and the alternative play and the alternative benefit of, hey, what if I don't follow for Drake? Can I get plates? Can I dive the enemies? Can I take something? In general, you should always prioritize your gold and your farm. And this example highlights how Kai'Sa prioritized that, but at the same time, she tried to, you know, help her jungle, so not to be completely selfish, because that is not good to be completely selfish. So she tried to help the jungle, but when she sees there is no need to help the jungle, she's just thinking about herself, her money, her gold, and we see beautifully this is the most important thing to understand, understanding when to follow for the Drake and when you don't need to be a Drake because you either have a lot of vision on the river or enemy jungle is top lane or simply that your jungle is really, really strong and there is a very good alternative to kill them under the tower, to pressure them, to get plates. You should highly consider to take the resources, to take the farm, to take the play that gives you the most gold instead of just following for Drake when you don't need to follow for the Drake. And this video, this exact clip highlights the most when should you follow for the Drake and when you shouldn't, depending on the variables on the minimap.